myself going, TGIF, thank God it's Friday, then I'm with you a little bit, right? So I used to say that all the time because I had jobs that sucked. I was working places I did not want to be working with, people I did not want to be working with. And so whenever Friday came around, it meant a couple things. It meant that the weekend was here, and if I had a job where I was off Saturday and Sunday, I would be off for the weekend. And to lick my wounds, recover, and tap out mentally, tap out of the struggle life, and do some stuff to take my mind off of the struggle, and then back to work on Monday. So it meant that. And then number two, it meant payday. Or if you were in my situation, it wasn't payday, it was actually transfer day. Because if you got paid, whenever I did get paid, that money would transfer. It would transfer in a lot of ways when I was getting paid. I'm talking a lot of ways. And that money would just get dispersed. And I remember this was way back, I want to say maybe 2003, 4, 5, something like that. I used to have a job at a car wash in Baton Rouge, where I'm from originally, in Louisiana. And I had a job at a car wash, and I think back then I was probably making like, I want to say like maybe $7 or $8 an hour. It wasn't much money. Still not much money today. And I was back there. I had recently graduated from high school. I had a kid. Shania was just a baby. And her mom and I weren't together. And her mom would come by on my payday. And she would pick up the money for the baby's daycare and diapers and things like that. And I remember one paycheck, I'll never forget this, my whole life, I'll never forget this. After she finished taking what she needed for the baby, because that was my responsibility. And so I had to do what I had to do, right? Even if it left me in a tough spot. It wasn't the baby's fault. So she came and took like daycare, diaper money, milk money, stuff like that. And then I was left, I want to say about $3. So I was left with about $3. I walked next door for lunch. I bought like a candy bar and something else, maybe a donut or something, half for lunch. And that was it. And I remember that, and that was tough times. And I never want to repeat that ever again in my life. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That ain't fun, right? So, but I was a dad. I was doing what I had to do. And so that's how it happened. Now, fast forward to where I am now, some 20 years later, and a lot has changed. My life has changed. I have had some ups, some downs. I don't go around and like put, just put all of my downs out there. I have had some hard times, and a lot of us have, but a lot of times we keep it private, and that's okay. The goal is for us to overcome that, get in the best position possible, and change our lives completely. And so that's what I've been working on when I go out and do what I have to do to take care of myself and my family. And that's what I work on when I come on here and teach you. There are some things that you can do that can make your life better. Because people always say, well, life's not about money. Well, I got news for you. Life is about money. It's about experiences. It's about time with your family. And it's about your lifestyle. Now, which one of those don't include money? If you want a better lifestyle, better home, better car, better clothes, better neighborhood, guess what you need? Money. That's lifestyle. You want to eat at the best restaurants. You don't want to have to go to McDonald's. You want to eat that good stuff. You don't want to look up and see what the gas prices are. Right? I used to check gas prices all the time and be like, man, gas is, because I remember like a few years ago, it was like $3. Like, oh my gosh, who can afford this? Right? But expensive gas is relative. That's relative to what your finances look like. So I learned real quick, hey, put your finances in order, and you don't have to look at these gas pumps, because you're going to need the gas no matter what it costs, or your car's not going to work. And I figured that out. I was like, hey, guess what? I need to make more money. What's the houses cost? Yeah, they're overpriced right now, no doubt. But what you going to do about it? You got to make some more money. Rent's up? I know, I got you. Got to make more money. right? Everything costs more. Yep. Hit the nail on the head. Guess what that means? You got it. You got to make more money. Otherwise, you're going to get rid of everything you enjoy, and you're going to be living a life that you hate because you can't afford anything, and you won't try to afford anything. You'll just cut everything out like a politician. Cut. Politicians are like barbers. All they do is cut. Let me cut this budget. No. Learn to make some money. Let's get creative. Let's produce. Let's make some money so we don't have to cut everybody. Ms. Johnson needs her job. And so I'm doing this video today to share with you that, hey, if you're out there and you just need to make an extra $1,000 this week, or if you just need to make an extra $1,000 in the month, which is like what, I want to say like $33 a day. You just want to make that, say, hey, look, Sean, man, extra $1,000 a week is awesome. $1,000 a month would help us. Hey, I got you. Say less. So let me tell you something. See that thing you're watching me on? I'll let you in on a little secret. That iPhone, that iPad, whatever you're watching me on, that Samsung, that Android phone, yeah, that's your ticket. That's how you make money. That's how you get paid. You want to make $1,000 real quick? It's gonna come off that phone. Now I'm telling you where it's gonna come from. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to beat yourself up. You got the phone in your hand. That phone is going to make the difference. That phone is what's going to give you the income that you desire. It's going to give you the income that you desire. These phones are used to make companies are using these phones to get rich, wealthy, beyond millions and billions of dollars. Right? Because these phones are all about one thing: attention. Well, two things: access and attention. Attention is what they sell on these social media channels. That's why they don't charge you. They just sell you attention. Well, Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, you could buy the Twitter X or the Twitter check or something like that, which is real cool, great idea. Because everybody want to be somebody, so they love to have that. Because the people care about what the public think about them. I, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, unfortunately for you and most other people, I don't care what people think about me. If I did, I wouldn't be achieving what I was doing today. So if you want to learn how to make $1,000, that's going to come from your phone. There are several things you can do right now that you can make, $33 today. If you want to make $1,000 a month, you want to make $1,000 in a week by making, I don't know, whatever 7 divided by 1,000 is. I would guess about 140, something like that. But if you want to make $150 a day, you can do it. If you want to make $33 a day, you can do it. It does not matter. So one of the things you can do is find a company or think about this. Here's an easy way to do it. Do you know anybody who's a friend or family member who does something? And if you don't know a friend or a family member who does a service, then think about, do you know anyone who knows anyone who does a service? And if you don't know anyone who knows anyone, by the way, you probably will. And if you don't, let's say you don't, then you need to think about, when was the last time you had somebody advertise to you, gave you their business card, gave you their, put a flyer on your door, put a door hanger or something like that. All right, so that's where you start. All right, so now you know a business who does a thing. So for instance, and I'll go with a hypothetical just to give you an example. All right, so I'm riding through my neighborhood and I'm just looking around. All right, so I'm gonna do this from scratch. Riding, looking around, I don't see anything right now. Maybe I'll see something. So I'm riding through my neighborhood and let's see, because I want to do real time. I want to show y'all how easy this is. This stuff's not hard. So riding through the neighborhood, let's go, let's see. And we're gonna find somebody. Let's turn down this street. You know when this was booming too in this neighborhood? When everybody was doing like Christmas decorations. Man, there's so many lights in this neighborhood. People were like making a ridiculous amount of money. All right, so I'm driving. I do not see anybody, probably because it's 20, I don't know, 25, 28 degrees or something out there. Well, I see somebody running. But all right, let's just use an example then, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I figured I would see somebody out, but I haven't seen anybody yet. And so let's think. There's a lady out there running. All right, so, but if I drive around, I'm sure I would see somebody, but just for the sake of time, let's just hypothetically say, all right, so I'm looking at all these yards, and I see everybody here's got a yard. Everybody's yard's got to be tended to. So, all right, there's landscaping. Usually on some days you could ride through here, see 10, 15 landscaping trucks or lawn service trucks. Just I've passed through this neighborhood, and I've seen like a pickup truck on side of the road and a lawn service out of the back of the truck, like a man and a woman. I've seen it. So kudos to you, way to get out and hustle. So let's say I'm riding through here one day and I see that man and that woman out here cutting grass and weed eating. Right now, I found a service provider. This is what they do. Wherever they go, they can do this. Whatever the yard, they can do this. They can do what? They can service the lawn. They can cut the grass, trim the edges. They can do it. So what I'm going to do, I know they're small. I know they're not a big business. It's just them, mom and pop. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of my truck, walk up to them. If they were out here, I would show you real time. One day I'm going to do this so you can see how easy this is. I don't get to just drive around, enjoy coffee, make videos, talk about making money, talk about enjoying life without actually doing this. So I know there are a lot of people who teach what they don't do. I don't think that's cool. I think you got to learn some things, but once you hear what the things that I'm saying, you'll be like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about because he does it. Okay, perfect. And that's confirmation. So I'll get out the vehicle, hypothetically, walk up to this guy, this woman who I don't know, but I've seen them here, so I know they exist. And they're older people too, like they're not young people, but I've seen them and I remember it because it stuck out. I was like, wow, they're out here doing that? And wow, good for them, right? And so what I'll do is I'll jump out of the truck, walk up to them, they'll turn off their machines, and then I'll say, hey, now, if I don't see the information on the side of the truck, I would get out and go talk to them. Otherwise, if they're cutting grass and I see the info on the side of the truck, I'll just take that. But I don't think it was there. So I would jump out, walk up to them and say, hey, you guys cut grass in this area? Yeah, we get it. Hey, man, all right, so listen, I'm thinking about having somebody do some work for me. So what do you charge for this side, like the one I'm standing in, right? Or I'd say, hey, what do you charge for the average yard, just to get a gauge? And then they would say, yeah, man, for the average yard, we charge, I don't know, let's say 180. We charge 180 for the average yard. Okay, bet, cool. Now that's 180, right? So I know their rates. And I'd say, how long does it normally take to do an average size yard? Probably about an hour. Okay, I know their rates, I know their time, right? And I don't really have to get deep into it. I just need to know how much you charge, how long it takes. That's all I care about. Right? And I'd be like, hey, all right, so 180, and it usually takes about an hour to knock that out. Yeah, bet, okay, gotcha. How far are y'all willing to travel? I would ask that too, because we're in a big city in DFW. Yeah, we'll travel, anywhere from 10, 15, 20 miles. Okay, gotcha, that makes sense. If you have to go outside of that, that's probably too far for a service job for lawn care, but maybe another job that pays a lot more. But for lawn care, let's keep it close and just roll with the example. So. And they would be like, yeah, so we'll travel for a few miles, but we'll go ahead and knock it out. I'll be like, bet. So listen, here's what I'm gonna do. Can I get your information, and then I'll give you a call when I need some help? Bam, yeah, sure. And they're gonna give it to you because they're gonna need the work, right? They're needing that work, so they'll give you that information, and then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go right home immediately, and then I'm gonna type up this. I'm going to text this up. I'm going to go to Craigslist or Quote Buddy, whichever one you use, whichever one you prefer. I prefer Quote Buddy because it's unlimited leads. But anyway, you could go to Craigslist, for instance, and just type up Anybody needs their lawn done, or just something quick, say, because if I was doing it, I would just say very, very quickly, uh, want your lawn to look new, need a great quote from a great service, call this number. And I'll put my number. That's all my ad's gonna say. Want your lawn to look beautiful, look clean, look new? Yes, of course, absolutely. Okay, gotcha. Then you want a quote? Yeah, call this number. That's all I'm doing. And they're gonna call the number. So it's gonna, and that's all it's gonna say. They're gonna call the number, and then I'm gonna pick up and say, hey, this is Sean. How can I help you? Right? Because I'm just trying to get a quote and get this thing locked in. Hey, this is Sean. I can help you. Yeah, because I know it's not anybody I know, so I'm gonna pick up and, hey, this is Sean. I can help you. Hey, yeah. So I saw your ad online. I was just hoping to get a quick quote. Okay, perfect. How big is your yard about? And try to get a little information. And as long as it's like an average size yard, nothing stupid or incredible, then I know this crew's gonna do it for 180. I already know that. And so I'm just gonna say, hey guys, so yeah, we would love to come out. What day would you like to have us out? Blah blah blah. Okay, bet. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and set you up. The total amount is just gonna be only 180. If you take my class, you know why I say it like that. If you're in the Middleman Masterclass, you know why I say it like this. So those of you who are in the class, you already know what I'm talking about. But hey, it's only 180. And so we'll go ahead and get that set up for you. Let me go ahead and get some information from you really quickly, starting with the name, address, what time, what's a good time for you, early, after, just know times vary. Always say that. Hey, times vary. We are busy during this time of the year, so time could vary, but we'll send you a text message about 1 hour before we arrive. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. Perfect. And now you're rolling. You see, you can tell I got a script and I remember it, and so, yeah, so now I've been doing it for years. Yeah, now we're rolling. And so let's go ahead and get this set up. We'll go ahead and get you scheduled for that day, this time, at this address. And what's it going to include? It's going to include us servicing your yard as well as trimming your edges. And when we leave, your yard's going to look prestigious, look brand new. You're going to be very excited about what we're going to deliver to you. Okay. Now listen, in order to go, and this is where you get paid. Now we got you scheduled, we got you set up to get cleaned. The only thing we need to do now is get your cleaning confirmed. The way we do that is by taking a small deposit, which does come out of your total balance. Always say it that way. We're taking a small deposit, always say small, that does come out of your total balance, right? And now you have a small deposit. Now they know they need to pay a deposit. It comes out of their balance. They're okay with that, and they know they're getting scheduled to get their yards done. Right? And so now once then the next thing they're going to say is, what is the balance? And then now your guy is willing to do it for 180, right? Your guy is willing to do it for 180, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to book the job at I'd say like 197. And that's just a play on numbers. I booked the job at 197, right? So, I'm sorry, he's going to do it at 180. So I'm going to book the job at, let's say, 225. So I'm going to book the job at 225. And I was thinking about 150. But I'll book the job at 225. So I'll take the difference. So he wants the 180. I only want the difference between the 180 and the 225, which is $45. So her deposit is going to be $45. That's it. So I'm going to take the $45. And I don't touch the 180. The customer's going to pay that to the service provider, the contractor, whenever they do the work. So the man and the woman that I got all that information from to start finding them a customer, they're going to get paid from the customer, not me. I don't touch any of that money. That's not mine. I only take deposits, which is my commission for finding them a customer. So I take $45. The 180 goes to them. That's one way you could do it. I'm more advanced, so I would do it a different way. I would take the 45 for sure, minimum, and then I would contact. But I would take even more. I would take 75, because I would take another 30, and then I would contact that crew and say, hey, I got a job. It's scheduled. I know you guys charge 180. Are you willing to do this small job for 150? Bet they're taking it. They didn't even talk to the customer. They just show up. So they take it for 150 instead of 180. I take that 30 on top of the 45, and now I'm at $75. It's that easy. Now I'm at $75. Now there are some things you got to set up and know what you're doing in order to get this done, but it's really that easy. It's not hard. That's why I love middlemaning. That's why I have the Middleman CEO Masterclass where I teach you that. In fact, if you want to learn about it, click the link in the first comment below, and you'll get access to the Middleman Success Masterclass. Jump in, get it, and learn how to make money. I told you it was easy. It's not hard making money. It's very easy. And all you have to do is what I just told you, and I just showed you how to make money. So Middleman CEO Masterclass, the link for the class is in the first comment below, and I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be awesome, and I'll see you guys over there, and peace.